Friends, welcome to my workplace at Ranaghat, West Bengal, India. This is a very hard cataract. You can see the brownish black appearance of the cataract. Let us observe this surgery. This is the main incision on the posterior aspect of limbus. You can see oozing of some blood from the lips of the main wound. This is a side port on the right side of the main incision, and this is another side port on the left side of the main incision. These side ports are about 3 clock hours away from the main incision. An air bubble has been injected into the anterior chamber. Now trypan blue 0.06% dye is applied over the anterior capsule underneath this air bubble. This is a bit of adrenaline, and now the dye is thoroughly washed out using BSS and this 23G Simcoe cannula. And now 2% hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose is injected into the anterior chamber. The anterior chamber is filled up with this viscoelastic substance. A 26 gauge bent needle cystotome is used. It goes through the right side port, incises the anterior capsule, and raises a large, nice to hold capsular tag. I take a Utrata forceps now, hold this capsular tag, go anticlockwise, and do a large rhexis, not less than 6 millimeter. Yes, in hard cataracts, we should do a large rhexis so that nucleus management becomes easy. And now, hydrodissection. BSS is passed just under the anterior capsular rim, and the nucleus is tapped and the nucleus is mobilized. Viscoelastic substance is injected again, and now is the time to introduce the tip of the phaco needle. In hard cataracts, to deliver more ultrasonic energy, the exposure of the tip, the exposed part of the phaco needle should be little more. It is this much in other cases. In these cases, I rotate and expose little more so that more ultrasonic energy can be delivered into the nucleus. And in this case, I am going to do submarine chop. Submarine chop means you go through the substance of the nucleus as a submarine moves through water. You go through the endonucleus and break the hard core of this hard cataract, and you divide the nucleus at on-go. Here it is. The nucleus is pushed little down, and now the tip of this phaco needle is buried into the substance of the nucleus. I am asking my assistant to increase the power, ultrasonic energy in this case. In other cases, it is about 60 to 70%. In this case, I have asked to increase the ultrasonic energy to 85%. And there is some cavitation bubbles. I remove these air bubbles, engage the tip into the substance of the nucleus. It goes through the nucleus towards the opposite equator, crosses the central hard part, and when it reaches between the center and the other equator, the chopper is used to chop this nucleus, and it is a very nice crack. Rotate this 180 degree, and along this crack I separate this nucleus into two heminuclei. Yes, it has completely separated into two parts. And now again the tip is buried into the substance of the heminucleus, goes through it for a distance, and it is chopped into two large fragments. Done. Rotate the nucleus, come to the other heminucleus, Bury the tip into this heminucleus, go through it for a distance, and then chop it into two large fragments. So this large, in other words, huge nucleus has been divided into four large fragments. Now each fragment is tilted and emulsification is started from its apex. I don't allow the apex to go back and hit the posterior capsule. I start emulsifying from the apex and it gets emulsified in a short time. Now this is the other heminucleus, tilted, emulsification started from apex, and as I start eating up from one side, and it remains at the tip and it gets emulsified. Phaco energy, I have told, in this case is 85%. Flow rate is 45 ml per minute and vacuum is 450 millimeter of mercury. The machine being used is Pharos from Oatly. The same cataract can be easily done by Oatly Easy or Oatly Cataracts 3. It's not necessary that you need a Pharos for this hard cataract. And this is the last nuclear fragment. At this time I decrease the vacuum and flow rate little bit. Flow rate is 35, vacuum is 350, and I take care of the anterior chamber stability. I look at the posterior capsule movement. Everything is fine, so I just emulsify this last nuclear fragment and it is done. So the nucleus is nicely emulsified, and now is the time to remove the cortex. Visco is again injected. A 23G Simcoe is being used to aspirate the cortex from the inferior aspect, say from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. The superior part can be removed by this instrument going through the side port, but in this case I am going to use bimanual irrigation aspiration for removal of the cortex, say from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Here it is. Irrigation is from the right side port, aspiration from the left, and it is done. The cortex is removed. This is hydro polish. Yes. So polishing of the posterior capsule has been done, and now a single piece monofocal intraocular lens is being implanted in the capsular bag, keeping the antechamber formed by the irrigating probe. Yes, it is done. The lens has gone into the capsular bag. The lens is dialed by the irrigating probe. The capsular bag as well as the antechamber is irrigated. In this way, whatever visco was there in the lumen of the cartridge has come out. This is a bit of moxifloxacin. And now the side ports are closed by hydration of corneal stroma on either side of these stab incisions. Side ports are closed. The main incision doesn't need any hydration. It has been made in that way. One more thing. See, the main wound is clear. There is no wound burn. and the ultrasonic energy has been applied in the continuous mode. Isn't it surprising? Yes. In Oatley machines, Pharos or Catrix 3 or Catrix Easy, you can use ultrasonic energy in continuous mode intermittently, and you will never find wound burn unless you deliberately do it. The antechamber is nicely formed, integrity of the wounds are checked, and the case is concluded. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope this video will help you in developing your surgical skills. Be a great surgeon and serve your patients with love, respect, empathy, and great surgical competence.